Now, the British Medical Journal has published a whistleblower report claiming there were serious flaws in Pfizer's COVID vaccine trials last year. The researcher behind the claims says that she was fired the same day she raised her concerns, and says too that the US authorities are refusing to investigate. With more, here's Igor Zhudanov.
So all these revelations, they have been published at the British Medical Journal, a very respected science paper, not some tabloid that has a history or, well, is known for publishing some unvetted information. And so that article, it details the allegations of a whistleblower, of a woman who used to be with a contractor with a company called Ventavia. So what does this Ventavia firm has anything to do with the Pfizer and its vaccine, you might ask? So it all goes back to the third phase of clinical trials of the vaccine. Some might argue that it's the most important phase. So Pfizer, to do these trials, it hired a number of firms and a number of contractors. And so these contractor companies, they were responsible for the trials. In total, Pfizer's vaccine was tested on more than 40,000 subjects. In fact, the number is closer to 44,000. And this Ventavia firm was responsible to conducting trials on about 1,000 of people. And so this whistleblower, she claims that she has observed some negligence, some violations during those trials. For example, according to the allegations, participants were placed in a hallway after receiving the jab. So instead of getting proper medical attention, they were somewhere in the hallway. On top of that, she's accused Ventavia of a lack of timely follow-up on patients who showed some severe symptoms, which could be interpreted as, well, side effects of the vaccine. They're using the word, the British Medical Journal is using the word adverse events in relation to these symptoms, to these, well, potential side effects. Also, protocol deviations were not being reported according to the allegations. The vaccines were apparently not stored at proper temperatures, and this is crucial for the Pfizer vaccine because, well, it has to be stored at a very particular temperature, a very low temperature, and this is something that makes the transportation of this vaccine particularly challenging. Also, the whistleblower reported mislabeled laboratory specimens, and apparently Ventavia targeted those members of staff who, well, tried to blow the whistle and tried to bring to light these discrepancies, these instances. And the whistleblower is saying that she was victim of such targeting, that she was fired after she tried to bring to light these allegations. So when, according to her, the company, when these allegations fell on deaf ears within the company, she assembled them, she put them together and sent them all to the FDA, the US agency, a governmental body responsible for giving the approval for the emergency use of a vaccine. And this is the response she got. Have a listen.
Within hours, Jackson received an email from the FDA thanking her for her concerns and notifying her that the FDA could not comment on any investigation that might result. A few days later, Jackson received a call from an FDA inspector to discuss her report, but was told that no further information could be provided. She heard nothing further in relation to her report.
Well, given what we've just heard, it could have been, well, seen as an optimistic sign for this whistleblower, you know, company, or rather the FDA getting back to her the very same day. And obviously she comes across as a very concerned person. And on top of that, all of this happened in September last year, which is important because that's before the Pfizer's vaccine got the approval of the FDA. So, well, the only logical assumption there could be is that the FDA will look into these claims, address them, and, well, make a decision whether or not they were important. But in December same year, the Pfizer vaccine it was recognized, it was recommended for emergency use by the FDA, and the FDA did not address any of the allegations. Have a listen to a part from the article in the British Medical Journal.
In Pfizer's briefing document submitted to an FDA advisory committee meeting held on the 10th of December 2020 to discuss Pfizer's application for emergency use authorization of its COVID-19 vaccine, the company made no mention of problems at the Ventavia site. The next day, the FDA issued the authorization of the vaccine.
We have, of course, reached out to Pfizer, Ventavia, the FDA, of course, to find out their opinion on this, as to maybe why they believe that these claims shouldn't be taken into account, that they're unimportant. But we're still to hear back from them, and I guess the only logical outtake from this story would be listen to your doctor before, putting anything in your body.
Now, we spoke to Reading University microbiologist Dr. Simon Clark about this, and he is concerned that the allegations there could lower the public's trust in the vaccine.
The biggest problem or potential problem with this article in the British Medical Journal is that it would affect or could affect public confidence in the vaccines when really it shouldn't. Mistakes do happen, but it's important to acknowledge that when you know a mistake has happened, you report it, you acknowledge it, and deal with it. This could happen with any medicine, not just a vaccine. People should remember that many, many millions of people around the world have had this vaccine, and it's effective and it's safe.